What's going on, Sled Addicts? Jesse here. So in this video, we're going to be going through an in-depth install of our new Cardo Packtalk Edge on Mike's Carbon Mission Helmet. So let's get to it. Okay, so before we actually get started with the install, I just want to go through what actually comes in the package that you're going to need to install the Packtalk Edge on our Mission helmet. So these things here are spacers that you can use for the speakers if you find like they're not close enough to your ear. We usually don't use them because our helmets fit pretty snugly, but if you need them, it's nice that Cardo does include these. Then we have two different sets of Velcro adhesive. So these we use for the speakers, and these two, the square ones, we use to mount our microphone. Now this is the actual magnetic mount that the Cardo connects to. Here's our Cardo unit. Here are our 40 millimeter JBL speaker set. And then Cardo gives you two types of microphones. So I've spoken about this in other videos, but this microphone we had lots of problems with where it would get moisture on it pretty quickly and stop working. So we started using these boom mics on all our helmets, even the oxygen, which you would assume this would work better on, while this would work better on like an open face or race style helmet. But we actually prefer the boom mic, this one that I'm holding right here, for really all applications. The sound quality is better and we haven't had any issues with it dying out. With these, on my old Packtalk Bolds, I had 3 of them go, and Cardo does have amazing customer service. I messaged them and they sent me free ones, but they kept going, and then like basically for the rest of that riding day, I wouldn't have a microphone, or the whole trip if I didn't have a second one. So we switched to these about 2 seasons ago and we haven't had a problem. So my suggestion would definitely be to use these boom mics over this, unless the application you're using just can't fit this. The other thing in the package are 2 different options for mounting. So there's a clip and there is an adhesive. So we use the adhesive on the oxygen because there really isn't a place to slide this clip into. But on the Mission, we'll be able to use this clip same way I did on the Titan. And we also have alcohol pads just to wipe down the helmet for any of this Velcro that we install. Just to make sure that the surface is clean before we stick it down so the Velcro has maximal adhesion. So let's get to the actual install. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is actually install the speakers. So when I open up the shield on this helmet, you'll see that there's nice placement here and the same on the other side. I'm trying to show you guys in the lighting, but it's rather difficult. Let's see, right over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these adhesive Velcro pieces, put them in those spots, and once those are in, I can actually put the speakers on. So what you want to take into account is that one of the speakers has a longer wire than the other. So the one with the shorter wire, that's going to be the one on the side that you decide to mount the actual Cardo itself. So as you can see, one is clearly a longer wire than the other. So we like to mount our Cardos on this side, on the brake lever side. So the one with the speaker with the shorter wire is going to go on that side. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that in. The nice part is because of the Velcro, I can adjust this. Like you can remove the speaker and move it up depending on where your ear is once your helmet's on. It's going to be different for everyone. And I'll put it on the same on the other side. So those speakers are in place there. Now, before I do anything, I'm going to figure out where I'm going to mount the Cardo. I believe I can get this clip in right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So with that sitting in place, now I'm going to go ahead and install this back on. So again, as I mentioned before, you want to just hold you know what? It's probably actually easier. Let's do this a different way. It's probably easier to actually mount the clip on this first. So again, just what you want to see is this opening here is for this big arm, and this small arm here goes in there. Just like that, and it clicks in, and then we slide that on the helmet. That's definitely the easiest way to do it. A little bit of wiggle action. Bingo. There we go. So now that's in place. Now for the wiring, how I'm going to actually do it, I'll show you guys. So I'm just going to pull this off for now. If you noticed, you see this slit right here? So I'm going to actually put these wires through this slit. Let's just make that super clear. This slit right here. So I'm going to run these wires right through there. And that's going to slide back into place. I'm going to try to take up the slack as much as I can on these wires. That's it. Now it's in place. The wires are pretty neat. Can't really do any better than that. And now I have my speaker plug and my microphone plug on the inside of my helmet. So the next step is going to be to plug in the speakers. Super easy, just like this. Now once that's done, this can go back on. I can even try to make it even neater by covering up the wiring there. So that's all covered up. And really the last thing we have to do now is just install our boom mic. So the easiest way to do this is going to be, first of all, let's clear off the clutter. So let's remove this side panel here if I can. Yeah, that's plenty. That's all I really need. So now that that is up a little bit, my microphone is going to sit right about here, right in this spot right here. Just to show you guys what I mean by that. Let's just get this in place. So this is going to sit about right there. And then this microphone is going to come all the way out to roughly there. So what I'm going to need are those square Velcro pieces that I was showing you before. I'm just going to stick one of those in place. That goes basically back here. Now with that in place, I can then put the microphone on. Before I do that, actually, I'm just going to plug in the microphone. So remember I showed you those two cords. One was for the microphone and one was for the speaker. So here's the microphone cord. Just going to plug that in. Only goes in one direction. There's an arrow on both sides. So make sure the arrows, let's see if I can show that to you. There's an arrow there and an arrow here. So I'm going to put that together, and that clicks in nicely. Now with that all set up, I can now put my microphone in place where I want it. So I want the microphone to sit all the way back as far as possible here in this Velcro. So now there it is. Now once that's in place, this can all go back. And you just orient the microphone where you want it. There is another, they do give you this that you can use, but in this case, I actually don't think we need it, so I'm not going to use it, but just so you know, you do have this, and you do have another Velcro piece to use, just if you need another point of attachment. On the Oxygen, I did use both, but on this one, it doesn't seem like it's necessary. I did also just want to point out, Mike isn't actually using the mask in the helmet because he just doesn't like using masks, and you'll probably have it plugged in most of the time. But if you do, the only thing that's going to change is your microphone placement. So you're just going to run it under here, and then it will come out a little bit further down at your mouth. So really nothing's different. I just wanted to show you that for those that are using the breath mask. So now really all that's left to do is just neaten up your wiring and hide it all. And then this install's done. It's actually not as difficult as a lot may think. So on this helmet, because you have this, this whole back area here, I'm just gonna sneak the wiring back behind that. So under, that's the easiest thing to do. I'm just gonna continue tidying it up a little bit more. So these, like all these pieces on the side, you can get creative in how you wanna hide the wiring, but the goal is just you don't wanna see any wiring. So when you're putting your helmet on and off, you're not like yanking any cables or anything like that. So you can see this wire hanging. So this will just pull back and I can slide that into here. And now what you do have is a little bit of excess cable here for the microphone. So I'm just going to tuck that underneath as best as I can. And that's it. Done. No excess cables can be seen. Everything's neatly stored. There's your microphone. And the last piece of the puzzle is just Cardo. Pops on as simple as that. And it is actually a very strong magnetic mount because there is a locking clip up here, so it can't come off. You have to push up here and then it slides forward. So don't be worried about that falling off. So guys, that's my install on the CKX Carbon Mission Helmet. If you have any questions about that or any questions about communicators or the Cardo in general, you can definitely leave a comment below, or you can always send me an email at jesse@sledaddicz.com. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. If you liked that video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the Sledaddicz YouTube channel, where we release content on everything snowmobiling. Also, hit that bell icon so you can be updated every time we release new videos.